Hello everyone, and welcome back to part 2 of my Prismata puzzle pack series. We did the first half of Challenge Pack 1 last episode, and as promised, oh no, this is all Challenge Pack 1. This was the first half of Prismata Miniatures. We're moving on to Overheat Defense, which is basically like you have to kill the opponent before some given turn, otherwise their giant overheat ray goes off and kills you. So what is it? I didn't actually... This was something morsel or something? Introductory morsel? I don't remember. I gotta look at the name now. Introductory morsel, indeed. Okay. So we have to deal a lot of damage, and we can't build drones. So clearly one Animus is strictly the best play this turn. There's no reason to not buy an Animus. If you want to, you could just float the gold. Like, you could just float the red next turn if you decide you didn't want an Animus this turn. But I don't think that's likely. So in these kinds of puzzles, it's helpful to count out like how long you have to do damage, how much damage you have to do, and so on. But here the line seems like not that challenging. We can't build the Shadowfang Tarsier forever, but it seems like a good start to do it for as long as you can. And you want to build Shadowfangs pretty much every turn. You could imagine not doing this for some reason, but it's like if defense were important, you could imagine cutting fangs to build rhinos so you have more soak available. But the enemy's attacking for 24, right? Actually, could it be relevant? Could it be useful to have rhinos to defend with? Could I get together enough defense? Like if I did this? I don't think so. We have 13 defense. 4 more here is 17. The enemy's... I was imagining like there could be some world in which we attack for a while, and then we have enough rhinos and drones to hold that our fangs get another turn to attack. But what if instead of that I just bought more fangs? That's my opinion on the matter. Hang on. Could it possibly... No, we can't double fang on 11 drones. I was thinking, what if we got a third Animus instead of these Tarsiers, but no. It's clearly too late for Tarsiers at this point, so I'll try a Rhino. We have to do 12 damage? Well, that's easy. Anything works. Oh, 16! 16! We're 1 short. Interesting. I don't know why I saw 12. So we had 1 more damage than we needed this turn, right? I could hold back the Rhino, but obviously that's not that interesting since I had a spare charge anyway. Maybe what I was supposed to do is like not get this Fang, but get another Rhino, and then next turn I can triple Rhino, and that looks like it does it. Right, it takes our spare damage this turn that we didn't need and turns it into damage next turn when we need it. Still 1 short. How many times is this Tarsier attack before the puzzle's over? 1, 2, 3. So he is better than a Rhino. But any later Tarsiers are not. However, I suppose Tarsiers on this turn might be okay? No. They would only attack once, so Rhino's gotta do better. But okay, like, why would you pay 10 bucks for 2 attack per turn when you could pay 8 bucks for 2 attack per turn, right? That seems pretty natural. So what about that Rhino? Was he actually doing anything? Ah, what if he were a Tarsier? Because he doesn't. We don't need the attack this turn, and then we could get Fang, Rhino. Yes. If we go back to this turn when we're floating 6, I don't need a Rhino because attack next turn is no good. Only the turn after is useful. So a Tarsier is $1 cheaper than a Rhino and achieves the same objectives, leaving me just enough to Fang Rhino on this crucial turn, right? Yes, there we go. Welcome to Overheat Defense, where your goal is to build up attack as fast as possible. Don't expect it to stay this easy. I did have a lot of fun with the campaign chapter 2? Maybe it was chapter 3. I think it was 2, though. Where they had a puzzle like that, the attack puzzle. I thought it was a lot of fun. Alright, a rare treat. Destroy all enemy forces. We're not allowed to build drones. Unclear what we would want engineers for, since the enemy is attacking for 15. And it doesn't... It starts with exhaust 7, but it's not like it only attacks every 7 turns, right? Okay, so we have... Anyway, my point is, like, defending it is probably not that great. But we might have enough time to build up a supply of rhinos to, like, defend for 1 extra turn. But then, like, are we really gonna have 7? It's only 7, actually. Maybe we could have 7 Tarsiers by that time. Yeah. So, the thing is, we want to be attacking for an odd number every turn, where possible, right? So that's like Tarsier Rhino next turn, basically. Seems good. This looks like a good start, anyway. Next turn we'll have 4 attacks, so Tarsier Rhino gets us up to 5 again. Next turn we'll have 5 attack. So let's keep it that way and just build 2 rhinos, 2 Tarsiers. This might be a little bit too slow, actually. Eight, huh? 10, 14. So there's a serious possibility of actually defending if we can get through next turn. What would it take to do that? Like, this 8, 12, this actually does sort of work, right? We survived the first attack of the Overheat, right? But I don't know that it gets us through in time, right? I mean, watch, I can do this. There you go, we did it. And we'll have 7 attack next turn, but the enemy has a wall left. We're 1 damage short. So what could we have done to get 1 more damage at some point? This Rhino and Tarsier both look good? Maybe instead of buying this Rhino here, I could have bought another Tarsier and held this Rhino to stay at an odd number. That's an interesting possibility. His stamina is like, you know, we can use it eventually. Now, next turn, I'll be at 6, so I want Tarsier Rhino here to get me up to 7. Let's see now. And I can absorb onto this Rhino on the Overheat turn, right? Something like this. Now we have 8, 12. Yeah, interesting. no, I can't. Because I have to attack with him to breach the wall, and if I don't breach the wall, I'm clearly losing. Let's just confirm that this thing does indeed attack again next turn, so otherwise this is very easy. Yeah, it does. Okay. So the Tarsier, instead of the Rhino, kind of attacked for the same amount because we had to hold back a Rhino to make it work, right? And then we wound up unable to actually spend the charges on that Rhino in time. Well, no, we spent the charges on that Rhino in time. It was this new guy we bought after him that didn't work. So, we have 8 drones, which is enough for 2 Tarsiers. And assuming we want to spend all our red every turn, that means we get to buy 2 Rhinos total, right? One of them should clearly be here to get me to an odd number of attack. I think so far I haven't made any mistakes. But I could be wrong. And it is really important to be attacking for an odd number. That much is also true. I can get 2 Tarsiers here and then not attack with the Rhino, and then I still get the full value on the Rhino, right? That was pretty cool. But then it somehow didn't work out. Right? I did this. Maybe I should keep holding the Rhino? And just buy more NGs? And instead of the second Rhino, maybe I just get 1. Right, this is the same amount of health as that second Rhino. And I can continue holding this Rhino, I guess. Floating red seems pretty bad. This is like way worse than what I tried before. Yeah, can't get those engineers. Okay, so let's try to think more about specific like totals of attack that we need to deal, right? If we want to kill this wall and be alive on the overheat turn, how much defense do I need? I have 8 drones, I have 2 NGs. That's 10. I need to have 6 additional health. One of those can be a Rhino that I absorb on. But only if I've already killed the wall, right? There's no way it could be correct to buy a Rhino on the last turn, because holding drones is just better. Even if it allows me to click another rhino. I don't think that can ever work. So, okay, we decided we need 5 more health of stuff, in addition to the 1 rhino I'm absorbing on. Right? So that could be 2 rhinos and 1 NG? I have 10. Rhino is 11. Okay, so it could be 4 more NGs, or 2 NGs and 1 rhino. 2 NGs and 1 rhino seems good, because that's... I want to have built a rhino earlier to survive, right? I'm sorry, to deal an odd number of damage. So that would mean that I'm only building this 1 rhino early, and then I later build 1 more. That seems like exactly the line I was taking. Well, no, because I tried buying a 2nd rhino to keep myself at an odd number here. 3, 4. Yeah, well, okay, let's revisit this and see if I just missed something in this line. Some way to squeeze out 1 extra damage. The line holding back a rhino seemed pretty not good, because it took me too long to clear through the force fields. So here we have the number of rhinos that I needed. And I'm building more tarsiers. Like, this seems good. We're still attacking for an odd number. And hang on, what if I just buy a rhino here? Is this fine? We attack for 5, that kills these 2. Next turn they have 7 health, and I can attack for 7 with this rhino, keeping the other 2 to defend. How much health do I have in that case? I think I have just enough, right? 8, 11, 15. Not absorbing, but that's okay because the rhino that I need to attack with is not on defense, so he's not dying. Yeah, this is fine. Okay, so I just missed the 3rd rhino when I was trying this line earlier, I guess. And I thought NGs were better, which is true. NGs are better soak than a rhino, but what I needed was, rather than a tarsier and some NGs to soak with, I needed a fast attacker that could finish off the wall and then still be alive. What? A rat eater ate a rare treat. A rat rear tartar tart. I see. Winner of the best sentence using only the letters corresponding to this mission's Bible units. That's why they called it a rare treat, because you can only build A-R-E-T. Very funny, I guess. Questionable. Clearly a joke. Let's leave it at that and not discuss whether it was funny. Mad Rush. Okay, well, let's start with an Animus. Strong play. And this is presumably about, like, just maximizing the total amount you attack for. Because, like, are we really going to have 20 health to defend? Probably not, right? Well... I guess it's not impossible if we have enough, like, rhinos and dying Grimbotches all timed together. You could imagine surviving for a while. But clearly, for now, we just start with Tarsiers. They're the best. And there's not really any granularity exploits, so... Is it time for botches yet? If I buy a botch, then next turn it'll have 4, and this guy will have 4. Which means that when this guy has 1, the botches will have 1. Which is actually perfect timing, right? Whether I want to hold them or attack with them, this is the perfect time to buy botches. They're already attacking. They're doing something for the entire length of the puzzle, which makes them like strictly better than Tarsiers. Strictly? I don't know. They certainly seem better. More botches. They're just the best thing you can buy at this stage. A rhino would be okay, or rather rhinos would be, but the botches are cheaper and they're just as good, so let's buy them. Now this is the perfect turn to buy rhinos, right? They're gonna be out of stamina on the turn this thing is firing, so they'll be able to like attack for their last time when this is ready. So far, like, I haven't really mathed it all out. This feels the most natural. Maybe we'll find that it doesn't work for whatever reason. But boy, does it seem good. We have 4, 6, 8, yeah, 10. All right, that was an easy one. Just got to do a little bit of timing, really. Now, with limited supplies and few turns, each purchase must be selected carefully if you wish to take out the overheat ray in time. Yeah, I mean, all it really means is, like, buy units when... Like, it sort of feels natural to build Tarsiers here, right? Kind of. You can say, look, the overheat ray is not firing for quite a long time. Tarsiers, therefore, are pretty cool. They attack every turn for quite a while. But Grimbotches are even better because they attack every turn for the rest of the universe, and also they attack for 1 turn more than Tarsiers do. So I think that, like, just by being a little bit careful with making sure you get full value out of every unit, and yeah, the puzzle's just sort of easy. You have extra gold even. One of these perfs could be a rhino if you wanted. Okay, well, that was a lot easier than the second puzzle line, I must say. Ferritin Provenance. There was a bug with this puzzle earlier. I saw someone screenshotted, like, it didn't show blue. So, like, you clicked Ferritin Sack and it just, like, wasn't there. I don't know. Fine. So we have very, very little economy and also no red. It seems like this is probably a good start, and then we can drone next turn, right? That's going to be building very little stuff, though, isn't it? We only ever get 1 Flame Animus. That's our only tech, right? Which means you don't actually need very much money, right? The only question is, like, Blood Rager's a bit tricky to buy, isn't it? When are you ever going to be able to buy a Blood Rager? Maybe I shouldn't get the Ferritin Sack yet. I don't know. What happens if we drone up a bit first? Doesn't seem very good. Next turn I could get a Ferritin Sack, or, the Flame Animus, and a drone, I guess. This seems extremely slow. Yeah, and now I have way too many drones, so... Okay, maybe the 6th drone is too much. Maybe we can settle for 5. And then get a drone here. Of course, we can sort of keep droning while we build attackers, I guess. That's something. This NG is so that we can get drone plus... Well, I guess we didn't need the NG that turn. But we'll want it next turn, right? I can't build Rage or Drone. Maybe I didn't need this NG? I mean, Rager seems clearly good. But it stinks to not be able to buy another drone with it. Also, I'm just like not doing nearly enough damage. Right. I think that's true. Yeah, this overheat ray is just coming in really soon. Well, clearly we don't want any drones. I don't know what I'm thinking. It's so late that like the drone won't even pay for itself. So what do I want this NG for? More fours, sure. Okay, so it's becoming clear now that like I bought too many drones. Right? We're like 1,000,000 damage away from killing him, and I don't have any money. So, given that I just bought like 1 drone before getting the Flame Animus, this sort of argues that 0 would have been a better number. And I can just do this. Although, a Rager is so good, I don't think I want a drone. Oh, also I'd have no energy. Oh, no. I would have energy last turn, but yeah. Alright, well. I guess it's a turn too early for rhinos, so a Vor is better. And then after this we just build rhinos forever. Are we through? Did we kill him? 4, 6, 10. 4, 6, 8. That's what I meant. Cool. So there was no weird trick. It was just like, yep, they gave you a Flame Animus, you should build it. Why is this glowing, by the way? Units like Blood Rager are effective when trying to ramp attack. Yeah, no kidding. Lucina's Rage. So... we probably want phages here. Just like... oh, I can't build a Tarsier. Oh, okay. Let's build this, I guess. I want to spend my red cheaply so I can get Lucina and then get a bunch of perforators out of her. I don't really need a second Animus, but on the other hand, like, with Blood Phage around, it's kind of like droning, right? Oh, and also there's Shadow Fang, if I wanted that. Yeah, I can't get this if I want the Lucina. Okay, well, I won't then. I mean, Lucina seems very strong here. I haven't really worked it out, but being able to build Lucina Fang is pretty strong. I don't... oh, I see. I was like, why don't I have the red for Fang? It's because you can't click Lucy and Perf and buy Fang. So now's about the time when I should calculate like whether I'm winning or not. Actually, maybe last turn. Like, should this Fang have been something else, perhaps? It's gonna get to attack twice, so it's worth 4 damage. Do I have a better way to spend this money? Not really. I guess 2 Nitrocybes and a Blood Phage are also 4 damage, but they cost more. Obviously, I could build 3 Nitrocybes, but that's less damage, and I can't spend the red on anything. So this Fang seems okay anyway. But a Fang now only does 2 damage. Which could still be correct, because there's not a lot of other attackers I can buy. But I guess just like this click does a damage and this click does a damage. This is 2 damage just for 2 red. And then I'm gonna be short here somehow. Let's just see that that's true, right? I am short here. Oh yeah, by a lot. Wow. Okay, so this was clearly the wrong approach somehow. Along the way we got lost. I mean, I could cut this Phage for another Cybe, and that's enough for a Lucina, which is probably worth it, right? Float 7 into Lucy. Yeah, and the Phage wasn't even really doing any damage. This feels better. Now, a Fang still does 4 damage. That's good, but I can click this and buy these and do the same total, like... Clicking Lucina does 2 damage, but it costs me some red. I don't know. Let's try this and see what happens. A Lucina click here is not amazing. It does 1 damage for just 1 red, I guess, which is cool. But Blood Phage does the same thing, and doesn't cost me red next turn. This doesn't feel very great either. Yeah, 5 short still. Wow. So it seems like we needed more Fangs for this to be good. So maybe the second Animus was a little soon. Or maybe I should have been buying Fangs with it early instead of Lucina. Isn't this kind of what I did the first time, though? Not sure. Maybe the whole Lucina thing is just a trick. Maybe you don't want it at all. Interesting. I have 17 bucks now. And 4 red. How did that happen? What excitement. Let's try buying a Lucy and see what happens. She only does 4 damage. But that's still a better investment of all this red than I could do it with anything else. Oh, yeah, very close. Only off by 8. Wow. What if I tried something completely, like... and just didn't buy anything but Lucina and counted on her to fuel the whole war effort herself? This doesn't seem very good because look at all this, like, money and red I'm floating, but... I could almost do this, but not quite. But I could do this, right? Get 1 phage on the way, and now Lucina. Doesn't feel very good. Yeah, not even close. Huh. I mean, it seems like phages first are pretty good. Right? Like this gets you a pretty early Lucina. It's clearly better than the previous line where I floated a bunch of money. Getting a phage with it is useful. There's the Lucina, right? I think this is what we tried pretty early on. Fangs are good. Let's buy them. Fangs are still good. Let's buy them. I don't know. We also saw that, like, this is fine. This feels better, honestly. But I think I tried this as well. And I just somehow have, like, a bunch of money left over. Like, that clearly argues that I did a bad job of spending my red effectively. Yeah, I reach for 9. Not even close. So maybe just 1 perforator was enough, and I should have bought more fangs. But this guy only does 4 damage. Like, it's just not that great. And this one only does 2, right? He's awful. This does 2 damage. So you get a phage. But you're still left with a bunch of money. Reach for 9. Okay, well, I'm gonna leave this puzzle alone for a while. We'll come back to it later. And I'll show you guys Quandary of Limitations, which is one of the free ones they included, so I did this. And I had... This is another attack puzzle where you, like, have a pretty limited set of things to buy. Oh yeah, why is this glowing? Like, I really wish it would not. I tried some not very good lines, and then I realized something, which is, like, how many turns do we have to buy things from our Animus? And Animus on turn 1 looks correct, but maybe for some reason Doom Drone is good, you might say. What I didn't notice was that this thing has 14 health, because this was the first Overheat raid mission I tried, and I didn't, like, think to look at that. But what that means is if you look at like the stuff you can buy here, how much total damage is it possible to own? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 9, 11, 14. So you have to buy all of these red units by the time the mission is over. And how many turns do you have to do it? Well, if you buy an Animus turn 1, you can buy attackers on turns 2 through 8. And then on turn 9, you'll have to attack. That's 7 turns worth of stuff. Exactly enough to buy 14 things. So this demonstrates that turn 1 Animus must be correct. And also that you can't get a perforator. You can't ever click a perforator until the last turn. So you probably want to buy the perforators last. And I think I just like got a Doom Drone. Doom Drone's on D. It's so confusing when they do these things without base set. And if you're getting a Doom Drone, like, what do you attack with? This, maybe? Because you want to get up above 6 econ, right? And it was tempting to do this. That's what I did the first time around. But we proved that this can't work. So this is really the best way to buy 3 things that are relevant. Or 2 red things that are relevant, anyway. Now we get the last Doom Drone, 1 Tarsier, and 1 Nitrocide. And we can't click the Nitrocide, of course, because we need to save all 14 to destroy this thing. We're out of Tarsiers, and we don't need energy anymore. Hang on. This should have been a Vor. I'm not going to ever be using the energy, and I can only get 1 Vor, so I might as well get it as soon as possible, right? So I can... Right, you'd rather attack for 1... If your opponent's not absorbing, and you have the choice between Tarsier and then Vor, or Vor and then Tarsier, you should choose the Vor, unless you need the energy for some reason. Or, you know, like if you're above the absorb barrier, which is the same as saying your opponent's not absorbing. When you're considering buying attack, which will not be absorbed, if you buy Vor first and then Tarsier, you're attacking for 1, and then you're still attacking for 1, and then you're attacking for 2. Over 3 turns, it does 4 damage. If you buy Tarsier and then Vor, you're attacking for 0, and then you're attacking for 2, and then you're attacking for 2. I guess it comes out the same? Why isn't it better? I don't know. But I guess it doesn't matter. Okay, I'll get the Vor. Now we kind of want a Tarsier. It's a little too soon for botches. We want to buy them. We want them to have 1 when this has 1, which means they have 4 when this has 4, which means we buy them when this has 5. Yeah, so next turn. And so we might as well throw in an Immolite, keep him synced up with his buddy. Next turn we're buying both botches. Turn after that, Immolites, I think, to sync with these guys. Or it might be Rhino time. No, Rhinos want to go next turn. So there's the last 2 Immolites synced up. We get the Rhinos. And then next turn the Perforators, and it's all very lovely. So very much like one of the early puzzles in this set, right? Where you get the botches timed so they do the most damage and die off just when you don't need them, and likewise the Rhinos. So there you go. Not that complicated. There's enough restrictions on you that it's easier, I think, to figure out than when you have more options. Yeah. So I want to go back and try this again, but swap the Vor and the Tarsier, right? Which I think is actually the same. Immolate. Now the botches. Then the last Immolites. The rhinos. And the perforators. Yeah, it is the same. Interesting. I always thought it was better to get the attack out right away. You know, usually what you would prefer to do is just not get the Tarsier if you're in a position where you're already over the absorb barrier and you can buy fast stuff like 4s. But if you're going to buy both, apparently it doesn't matter which order you get them in. So you might as well do whichever one is more awkward for your opponent to deal with for some reason. Cool. Well, that's most of the first half of Challenge Pack 1 Overheat defense. In the next episode, we'll move on to part 3. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.